Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. Season 43, War Number 2. Today we're taking on Legion, and you're going to see something today that you haven't seen since way back in Season 40, 150 plus fights ago, and that is me dying in war. So we're going to use Scorpion, Agent Venom, and Omega Sentinel today. 2/3 of the kill squad. 2/3 is all we need, as you'll see. So first up we have an I-Bomb here on Node 6. We're starting out on Path 3. This is an absolute nothing burger fight. We're going to go in here with Scorpion, and I think we're going to use the Shock pre-fight. The pre-fight here doesn't really matter. I mean, he's got physical resistance, but the damage from the debuffs is really not important. So I usually go with Shock against I-Bomb anyways, and I think we do finish this fight with a full yellow bar. So, you know, with the poison immunity that we get from picking a debuff type other than poison, you know, nothing that I-Bomb does here is going to hurt us, and the node doesn't apply to him at all. This is just a diversity placement here, so this is good. I'm glad that I finished this fight with a yellow bar because, as you'll see later, I'm going to need some potions here, so alright. So this was like 10 o'clock at night now, and I had been waiting for hours for like a pre-fight to be placed on this KORG, and I was in the middle of the Photon grind, and I had just turned on my Ouchie Masteries because I couldn't wait anymore. I was going to be up to like 2 a.m. grinding, and then like I got the tag like immediate after that the pre-fight was placed, so then I was super annoyed that I had to change my Masteries back and go in, do my path, and then switch back to Ouchies for the grind. It was just a mess. I was super annoyed. So kind of setting the stage for this fight in particular, this is a KORG on node 25. Omega Sentinel is a tactic attacker. She is rank 5. I'm not sure I made a video on her going up to rank 5, but surprise, I guess, if you didn't know that. So we've got the White Mags pre-fight here so I can safely parry him, but you can tell that I'm just playing this very poorly. I'm like hitting into his rock shield with medium attacks, taking unnecessary thorns damage, which I'm going to have to heal up for a fight later. Just really not in the right frame of mind here, and I was super annoyed about, you know, waiting so long and having to spend so many units switching out my masteries and having to stay up late, and it was just bad news here. So I do manage to get his rock shield down, fire off the special 3. I am going to take a bunch of power sting damage from doing the special 3, but at this point I was like, I don't even care. I just want to get through my path and get back to my arena grind. Take that special 1 to the face. So at this point I've got the incinerates on, and they are ticking for a whole bunch of damage, and I just keep them paused here, and that's more or less going to finish out the fight here. So again, still hitting into his block with a medium attack, so I've taken 1/3 of my life in damage here unnecessarily. Got through the fight, but that was as sloppy as it gets. Alright, so next up we have a Spider-Ham on 27. I'm going to go in here with Agent Venom. I was originally assigned regular Venom for this fight, but he's only like rank 1. And I didn't really want to rank him up, so Agent Venom gives Scorpion the same synergy that Venom does, and he actually works really well for this fight because we're going to be shrugging off the debuffs that Spider-Ham puts on us every time he uses a special, which is giving us the unblockable passive, as you can see. So we only have 2/3 of the kill squad here, of course, so we do get the Incinerate off of the bleed from the special 1, but we're not getting that extra damage from when we crit, too, so without Craven. So at the end of the fight here, he ends up getting a sting on me, and I end up getting stuck above a bar of power. So his spider nonsense is going to be, you know, increasing here. So now right now I've got the power sting on me, and I don't know why I continue to hit into him at this point, because now I'm above a bar of power. Like I said, his nonsense is going up, and I fully realize as soon as I toss the special 1, he's going to evade it, which he does. However, because we shrugged off a debuff, one of the hits does land, thankfully, and we do some damage. I get a blind intercept off there, but I take a couple hits anyways, and now I'm just waiting for his unblockable to wear off, trying to bait out one more special 1, and I'm pretty sure that I can get this fight done in one more special 1. So I do like 1 or 2 hits there. He goes, evades again, but the unblockable comes through, and that takes him down. So that was also a pretty sketchy fight. This fight, thankfully, is not. This is a HAVOK on 36, and this is about as textbook as it gets with Omega Sentinel. So the deal here with HAVOK is that if you get more than 2 of those plasma debuffs on you, HAVOK is going to be fully unblockable. It makes him tricky because you can't punish his special 1. So the plan here going in was to do 4-hit combos and block bait heavies the entire time, trying to push him up to his special 1. And this is really just a game of chicken, because eventually, like right there, he is not going to want to throw a heavy and he's going to toss a special 1. So you really need to land a quick intercept shortly after there, because the power burns from the tactic are going to remove those plasma charges off of himself, and it's going to keep him from applying additional debuffs for you. So he again throws another special 1. I have to land an intercept, but I've got 1 plasma debuff that snuck up on me. So if I get 1 more at any point in this fight, he's going to be unblockable, because I have no way of removing that heal block off me, and that's what the node requires you to do in order to remove the unblockable. So I am saving my special 3 kind of like as like a get out of jail, like panic button move. So, you know, I'm ticking him down. The strategy is working as long as I can stay aggressive here, use the tactic, remove those plasma charges, remove those prowess off of him. I finish a combo there, and then I just kind of do a bit of overkill here. He's got 1% left. I toss the special 3 to finish the fight. So, you know, in a fight where him throwing the special 1s is pretty much guaranteed, this is about as good as you can get in response to it. So, alright, so here we are again, another rank 5 Kindred boss, my second one in as many wars. We're going to go in here with Scorpion, same pre-fight, same boosts, same strategy as the first war, but this one does not end as well here. So just a reminder what the strategy is here, is you want to basically spam your special 1s, keep him taunted in the corner, and then you're going to block the blast of his special 1 and punish it in order to keep the Nightmare Aura counter on yourself paused. If it hits 50, you need to back off, or you're going to take a bunch of degen and he's going to heal up. So we get the taunt off right away. The first special 1 goes well, and then what ends up happening here is that I confuse his special 1 with a heavy, and I am late on the punish or on the block there, so I do take a hit to the face, but the fight is well in hand at this point. I've got the active degen on me, but it's fine because we haven't activated the Nightmare Aura. I get another taunt up. I've triggered the Nightmare Aura, and I try and dex this blast, but I'm too early. I get the second degen, which pauses all of the passive ones on me, and there is literally nothing I can do at this point except watch my health tick away. So, yeah, 152 Deathless streak, over just like that. Very, very disappointing. I am going to show the cleanup here in just a moment, but I do kind of want to talk more about this just from like a personal level, I think. So I suffer from something called imposter syndrome. I always have. Didn't even know it had a name until a few years ago. But I put a lot of pressure on myself to do well in war and upload gameplay that looks really good. I'm obsessive about the numbers on my channel, and all of that is because I can't get rid of that nagging feeling that I am one day finally going to be exposed as this fraud, this actual bad player. So the dev team, they got these neat little like orange tags on their name. So and 2 of those guys are in my battle group. I consider them both, you know, good personal friends of mine. And a screenshot of one of their profiles was making its way around the forums, line chats the other day and whatnot. And I noticed that, you know, a lot of people were kind of going out of their way to say what a good player, you know, this person was. And all I could think of was, wow, you know, that is really cool. And I wish I was in a position where, you know, some stranger was talking about me like that, because I think at the end of the day, I do want to be seen, you know, as a good player. And even though I finished, you know, over 150 fights in, you know, the highest level of war possible in this game without giving up a death, I didn't really have a sense of accomplishment. And I attributed all that success to luck, and, you know, the other guys in my battle group will tell you this, but I talk a lot about how, you know, anybody can do that because we have really good officers that put out strong war plans, you know, day after day, and, you know, I don't really reserve any of that credit for myself, right? So when I do give up a death, it's like devastating for me, right? It's like the entire house of cards that I've spent, you know, seasons, months, years building just kind of like crumbles and falls apart. And, you know, no one likes to die in war. But, you know, just speaking for myself, I just felt really embarrassed by it, you know. I think that folks in my battle group have come to expect better from me. And, the officers count on me to take, tricky fights, sometimes take bosses, mini bosses, and just, I'm like penciled in as a solo without even thinking about it, right? And, I just let everybody down, and even though this was a fight, against a new and difficult defender, and even though I had just sold the same exact fight like the day before, and even though I went in confident that I could do it again, and even though I made a simple mistake that literally anybody could have made in the same fight, despite all of that, the very first thought that went in my head was, man, I wish they had assigned this to somebody better than me. So, I don't really have a very specific point here that I wanted to make by sharing all of this. And I understand if you have kind of tuned out or clicked away by now, but just kind of wanted to give you maybe some insight into how I tick here. So, all right, so I couldn't clean up on the fight until about an hour and a half, 2 hours later because I was rushed. We were trying to get out of the house, which probably honestly factored into why I give up a death in the first place here. So right off the bat, we toss a special one into his block, and I'm thinking like, oh god, here we go again, right? So this time I just block the special one. I'm not taking any chances with taking another one to the face. We managed to get off a special one. We got the taunt up, and now we're kind of locked and loaded into what we need to be doing, just blocking that special one, punishing it to keep everything paused. We're up at 40 on the Nightmare Charge counter, and then this time I'm kind of prepared for the root. I wasn't prepared for it in war number 1, so I'm kind of holding my special one, hoping that he tosses one more without it. I just block the whole thing, and then I'm launching my special one into his heavy to break the root and finish the fight. So we still took a decent amount of damage there, but we didn't die from the root, which is nice. So we did end up winning this war. Shout out to Legion. I think we play them pretty much every season these days. It's always a pretty close war. RBG1, RBG2 both put up donuts this war, so big congratulations to them on carrying the day. 5 kills for me and then 1 death. Let's hope we don't see another one of those for a while, and our record on the season has improved to 1-1. Folks, thank you very much for sticking with me through all the stuff that I was talking about. If you've made it this far into the video, and help me out by pressing that like button, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more war videos. Hopefully no more deaths. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.